Monique, the work from home mogul, do you have a nighttime routine? I'm going to give you some tips to round out your day. And we are joined with special guest and sleep expert, Dreamina. You do not want to miss what Dreamina has to say coming up, so stick around. There's a lot of focus on morning routines. Getting up bright and early while the birds are chirping and the sun is shining and you're so excited about the possibilities for the day, and then by the end of the day you're just binging Netflix for 5 hours. That's not good. So I want to show you how you can have just as a productive and exciting nighttime routine to get things done. Because if you're up bright and early, excited, getting things done, and then you don't feel the same way about the evening, it's kind of just like going downhill to doom. Life is a series of extreme highs and lows. So the whole point of doing this nighttime routine or even a morning routine is to get your body and your mind and your spirit in a positive state, elevating your mood by having things that make you feel good and that give you a sense of accomplishment so that you can stay on more of the high curve. Your nighttime routine will start about 3 hours before you go to sleep. At that 3-hour mark is when you need to cut out the food and the drinks. No more eating or drinking. You want to save the energy that your body spends on the digestive system and use that elsewhere. Unless you love waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom, or you love your mind racing and nightmares happening from whatever food you're eating. Have an empty bladder when you go to sleep. That helps you from not having those vivid dreams that you're using the toilet. I have a friend that if she drinks too much at night, like she'll have such realistic dreams about going to the bathroom, even if it's not a toilet, even if it was like a COVID-19 dream where the restaurant worker said that she couldn't come inside to use the bathroom. So she was taking a bucket into the street. And now I'm like always thinking about, is this a real dream? I mean, she's always thinking about, is this a real dream? Like I said, this is my friend. You know what, guys? It's not always about having the childhood scarring and childhood trauma. Sometimes people just have a weak bladder. So my point is no eating and drinking at least 3 hours before going to sleep. About 2 or 3 hours before going to sleep is when you want to look at your to-do list, see what needs to be moved over to the next day, see what you can still get done. You might have 30 minutes or an hour or so where you can get some of these last things done. And that's when you're going to know, okay, what food do I need to pack or prep for tomorrow? What are my clothes looking like? Do I need to go get gas? Do I have kids appointments that are tomorrow? Like, are there things I need to wake up early and do? This is also when you're going to do your nightly hygiene, washing your face, brushing your teeth, putting your hair up. If I put these things off and if I'm dozing off in front of a TV, I'm not gonna feel like braiding my hair up at night. Your nighttime routine will take care of getting these things prepped so that you can start the day off not scrambling in the morning. 2 hours before going to sleep is when you want to get in the creative mode. Get your creative juices flowing. This is easy for you if you're an artsy, you like making projects. Even if you don't, this is the time that you want to have some output at the end of the day. Take some inspiration from whatever happened that day and put it into writing. Maybe you can make some flyers or some graphics for your business, editing a video. Maybe it's music, maybe it's some project or arts and crafts for the house or for the kids. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be something interesting every day. And it could be something that you learn, like a how-to, or even if you're doing it with others. It could be 15 minutes, it could be an hour, whatever time that you have. Creativity is really gonna be important about 2 hours before you go to sleep. And then just enjoying what you created in that 15 minutes or hour at the end of the day. Now, 1 hour before you go to bed, that is when your screen time should be finished. TVs, phones, tablets, electronics, off. Artificial intelligence doesn't always have a screen, but the light and the notifications and all those things do trigger your brain. But also just getting into quieting your mind. And sometimes I do like some music at the end of the day, but getting your brain into alpha, beta, theta brain wave state means you need to limit the external activity, and that includes sound. The sounds that you will hear will be the ones in your own head, and that's when you can start to have some awareness and pay attention to what thoughts are going on, since you're not going to have anything externally to manipulate or influence that. An hour before you go to bed is also a great time to start feeding your brain with reading. Physically reading with a handheld book, because like I said, the screen time needs to be done for the day. Get yourself a paperback if you are not already. Read. Feed your mind. You can read for however much time your schedule allows, but you will find that the more that you do read, the faster you're able to read and even speed read. And you don't even need to sound out every word in your head. That's kind of the trick. Absorbing more of the content, you'll get good at getting in more information faster. 30 minutes or so before you go to sleep is when you want to get into that relaxation mode, and that is when you will do your winding down, scalp massages, foot massages, maybe a scented candle, get you relaxed, and also it's going to trigger your brain into getting better sleep. You're going to establish this get comfy relaxation routine, and then at the end of the day, when you're doing your scalp massage or foot massage or smelling that candle, your brain is going to be like, oh, I'm about to sleep, and get to sleep faster. And finally, right before you go to sleep is when you want to recap your day and your gratitude list. If you journal, this is perfect. Just getting out all of the good things that happen and reminiscing, reveling in them, and appreciating them. Not just forgetting about it, but really be like, you know what? I love that this happened. This was a great part of my day. You're in a state of appreciating it. Whatever you observe, you'll see more of it coming into the next days, weeks, into your life. What you expect tends to be realized. So now we're going to get some expert advice with sleep and dream expert Dreamina. That is a really interesting name. What are the origins?
Actually, that is not my birth-given name. Someone that is lacking creativity as of late gave me this name, and so now we just have to go with it.
Okay, so anyway, tell us, how did you get into that field?
You know what? I love sleep so much. I spend so much of my time sleeping, and I'm in the dream world so much that it's just so easy for me to know what's going on there.
That is really interesting. So I have a lot of vivid dreams. So one really recent dream, this is a true story, is I had a friend, and we're sitting at a picnic table, and we both got pieces of corn. I got a really tiny piece. She got a big one that was like roasted with the Parmesan on it, that authentic corn that's really good. And so anyway, we were supposed to like share, and then for whatever reason, there was like a contest going on, and she was like, oh, she couldn't share with me until the contest was over. Anyway, I thought it was really weird, and what would be your interpretation of that?
Yes, this sounds familiar to me. It seems like that friendship is one-sided. Maybe one person is giving too much or not giving enough. Perhaps this is a friend that just talks on and on and on about themselves but doesn't offer any listening.
That is really accurate.
Or it could be that you just want other people's food all the time.
Well, I have another question. So sometimes I find like scratch marks on myself, or like dirt marks under my nails, like I've been scratching myself asleep at night, and I'm wondering why that is.
Sounds to me like you're just really itchy.
I have another friend where if she sleeps on one side of her body, she really, really snores so loud, but if we like shake her and turn her over, she doesn't snore anymore. And what is that all about?
Is this really your friend?
No, I mean, yeah, it really is a friend of mine, and I kind of do the same thing.
One side of your body could possibly go into a deeper dream state or get more deep sleep than the other side.
I have so many more questions.
There's definitely more, lots of more things that we can talk about, and I'd love to come back and go into how to get the best sleep.
I could talk to you all day about this stuff.
I'm just pulling it out of thin air.
Okay, that's the end of this week's video. Make sure that you like, comment, let us know what your questions for Dreamina are if you have any, and then stay tuned for next week's video.
You're just really itchy.